Today, I want to share with you what we're doing on our AI agent. So, if you remember last time we talked about it, right? We have actually, let me give some background. So, for those of you that don't know me, if you ask ChatGPT, what is the best podcast on affordable housing investments and who's it hosted by and why, you're going to get our podcast, Affordable Housing and Real Estate Investing. Now, what's important is that how do you preserve this lead, but more importantly, how do you help people at scale? So, we came up with a new way of essentially creating a clone of ourselves. We have found and added all of our old podcast transcripts so that we can come up with a way to answer any questions related to affordable housing, especially if people are posting on the forums, to train our agent to answer those questions. Now, you can kind of see what our original answers were. So, for example, this question was, is Section 8 real estate investing really a thing? I've been seeing a lot of videos about gurus who claim they're successful investing in it. They share this exact process. For context, I'm moving in the US. I'm doing a lot of research, blah, blah, blah. And then what I want to do is, okay, well, if I wanted to be very cautious about who you learn from, I've seen these gurus give very misleading information and they are not very helpful besides for just flashing fancy cars and boats. You don't know, they are slumlords. Rumors. If they're good people, if you ask prior folks who have been in their programs. So, what we're doing here is that we had an original response that was pretty weak, right? Affordable housing investing offers opportunities, blah, blah, blah. Consider the opportunities of real estate investing with affordable housing, research low income housing tax credits, boom. That's too weak. So then I came up with my own sort of answer, right? With a little bit of help by AI, but I wrote all this primarily myself, drafted it. The point is, if I see this question again, I want to send this answer and train my agent to be able to remember my tone, my answers, so that if this question comes up again, it will show up. And let me show you what's happening in the back end. So this is a NAN workflow. NAN is a great automation tool if you want to use AI and incorporate a little bit of it. Now you can kind of see like, hey, look, in Google Sheets, once I set that trigger to send, which I have it right here in column I, this will take the new response and it will update my database that has been originally trained on all things related to affordable housing for my podcast, update it with a similar Q&A question, and I will tag it as a human in loop type of question and put it back into the vector database. This allows me to eventually test my re-ranker so that, hey, if I know this was the old response and this is the updated response based on my input, so that it reflects my tonality, so it reflects my tonality and my way of explaining certain things and putting certain nuggets into there. This will help me answer those questions going forward. So imagine you're like a business owner, right? Let's say you're a skincare company and people are saying, hey, what if I have Botox? What if I have dermatitis? Can this product work for me? As soon as you keep getting these questions over and over and over, and you start to answer in the same way, now all of a sudden you can train your agent to just reply back to them in that same manner with the same tone, same empathy, same amount of information. And that's how you get to scale because as you clone yourself, you want to be able to handle these similar questions. And I would argue most of the time, if you're in any business, probably 80% of your questions are the same. So If you put in effort to answer 80% of questions, now you're really just focusing yourself on the exceptions, right? I'm sure what an exception looks like on this spreadsheet, because I have people scouring the forms for anything related to Section 8. It pulled up a wrong question. Okay. It pulled up a question that says, hey, I'm looking to buy distressed property at the end of section 2, and the contract says this, and then section blah. And that's how I pulled it into section 8, which is completely not related to affordable housing. It's really just section 8 of a contract. But hey, that's an example of a question that is not relevant. So even though I pulled up, now this is where I'm spending time. I was like, oh, no wonder this didn't come with a good response. It wasn't related to section 8 or wasn't related to affordable housing in the first place. And this is how I'm building this in public so that other people can figure out whether or not this is the right fit for them. All right. So I hope you all have an amazing day. I just want to give you a little bit of update on what we're doing to update our database with new answers so that we can continue to clone ourselves to help more people answer questions about affordable housing and do this at scale by creating a Reddit agent. All right. And this Reddit agent, it's not posting for us. It's just helping us scour the internet, drafting responses, and then we still have to review them. All right. So hopefully this was helpful, everybody. Again, this is our journey. We're building this in public so that we can figure out how to answer so many questions at scale. All right. I hope you all have an amazing day. I'll see you all tomorrow for day 711.